Welcome to Broker Only Forum, Agent Awards and Recognition. Today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of agent awards and recognition as it relates to your culture. The culture that is your brokerage really is impacted by the way that you handle their recognition and the things that you do for your agents. With that being said, some of the things that we're going to talk to you about today are incentives or the emails that you're going to send out and how you're going to come up with the agent awards and what kind of recognition you're going to give them. I try to keep it as inexpensive as possible for you guys so that you can get a lot of bang for your buck. One of the things that I really like to do is to incentivize your agents to turn in perfect contracts, because if they're turning in these perfect contracts, then you are going to be saving yourself time, therefore making yourself more profitable. And to incentivize them with agents who have written contracts that receive green emails from the contract processor will be eligible for a free year of the reusable sign writers to work with the QR codes and the text autoresponders from My Work Suite. It's just an example, guys. So I'm just telling you that you could buy them 10 sign writers, and the time that it saves your contract processor or whoever it is, the receptionist, whoever's checking over those contracts, by them actually striving to win this contest really makes a big difference. And when I refer to green emails in another class that we offer on the Annie Mac Works productivity platform, what you'll find is that we teach you how to correct problems, and we teach you so that they understand what to expect, meaning that if their contract is perfect, they get it's all written in green. And that means there's nothing left for them to do but go to closing. There's nothing left for them to do but to continue to work the deal the way that the deal needs to be worked in order to get to closing. But if they receive a yellow one that has warnings all over it that says you're missing this signature, there's no initials on page 7, all these things, then that's not a perfect contract. That cannot be entered into the contest. And that's a time waster for your contract processor. It's a time waster for your agent. And then we have the dreaded red emails. And the red emails where everything is written in red says, this contract is so wrong that you need to just do it over or fix it yourself and resubmit it, because I don't know where you went to real estate school, but you didn't learn anything. So we're trying to get them to understand that there are things that they have to do, but we're trying to incentivize them. You would think a check would be enough, right? But we're trying to incentivize them so that they will strive for receiving those green emails or turning in a contract that is requires no extra work or time suck from your staff. So one of the suggestions that I have is the sign writers. You could do 6 months of RedX. You could do, anything that you decide to give them that pertains to their business, obviously. I don't want you to give them a fruit basket from, what's that thing called, Edible Arrangements. I want it to be something that's going to help them to build their career. But this, like I said, is just one sample of something that you could do for them. Maybe you buy them some yard signs. Maybe you pay for their signs to be installed. Maybe you buy them some pay-per-click advertising. Maybe, but all of these different things will help them to build their career, and it also will make them understand that these things are, these perfect contracts, these things that come in are so important to you and to your staff that you're willing to incentivize them. Another thing that's a really fun thing that you can do periodically, whenever you see a slump, you'll know, you have a feeling in your office when, nobody's coming in, nobody's doing anything, there's no energy in the office, the culture seems to be waning a little bit. You come up with these different things that you can introduce. So I would not, in any way, shape, or form, introduce the Perfect Contract contest and the Champions Lunch contest at the same exact time. These are things for you to time out. Now, I'm introducing them all together because it's Agent Awards and Recognition. So, what the Champions Lunch consists of is a contest. So, it would be a month-long contest, and anyone who takes 3 listings. Now, you can make up your own rules. These are just ones that I'm giving you as a sample. Remember, we give you all of these different ideas. You might hate the idea of the perfect, you're like, I don't have problems with my contracts. My people turn in all their contracts perfectly. Okay, so listen, acknowledge, and ignore that one. But what about the Champions Lunch? 3 listings taken, 2 sales contracts written, and 1 closing completed. So anybody that does those 3 things gets to be invited to lunch with you. So you might have 1 person that goes to lunch with you. You might be eating lunch alone that month. You might have 10 people. But this is a way that you can communicate to the rest of your agents that people are doing that type of business, and these people get to go to lunch and have a special time with you, the broker, because a lot of times they want that time with you. Now, this happens to be a sample from a larger brokerage. So if you look, typically you're not going to have 1, 2, 3, 20 people that come to this lunch, but you know what? If they've written 3 listing contracts and they've written 2 sales contracts and they've closed 1, you can afford to take these 20 people out to lunch. And they get a sense of belonging. They get a sense of the fact that they're the elite crew, if you will. Real estate agents, much like children, need recognition. They need to understand that the things that they're doing are good, for lack of a better word. That they're performing to what you expect. And it really helps you in your credibility as a leader when you're pushing them to do these things. And when you're sending this or something like it out to the rest of your agents, because you're going to announce this to the entire office as to who's going to lunch with you. And when you're sending out something like this to your entire office and they get to see who the top producers are, those people who really strive to do better, who really have a competitive bone in their body, will say, you know what, I want to beat out that Lolene Arcia next time. I'm going to take her place at the Champions Lunch. I'm going to be at that lunch. So maybe you do it quarterly. Maybe you do it monthly because it worked out so well the first time. Maybe you look at, the waning, because there's a wax and a wane of everything, and you pepper it in. Maybe you do it bi-monthly, but make a Champions Lunch a staple. So whatever you're going to do, if you're going to do it monthly, you have to do it monthly. You can't say, oh, we're going to do it this month and then we're not going to do it next month. And make sure they know that it's on the 3rd Tuesday of each month if you're going to do it monthly. If you're going to do it quarterly, make sure that they know that it's on the 3rd Tuesday of each quarter. Whatever you decide is the right way to do it, but just do something that gives them that little competitive edge or that little competitive nature. And it really helps with the camaraderie. It really helps you to get to know those top producers in your office, because those are typically the people that don't bother you. Those are typically the people that are you're at risk of losing because they are busy and they are out there and they're not connecting with you on a regular basis. So this helps you to get them to connect with you if you're offering them something that is a time for you to be able to connect. Another fun thing that you can do for camaraderie and for the culture in your office, again, you decide how often, if you do it, but this is something that I suggest that is done around your holiday party or your annual awards ceremony. The actual year-long compilation of all of their hard work that you're going to acknowledge, because you need to acknowledge that hard work. Because without that acknowledgement, you'd think that commission checks would be enough and bank accounts would be enough. But when they get called on stage to be acknowledged, it really changes something for them. So superlatives and the way that they work are done in a few different ways. If it's done at a holiday party, you can create little bags like I'm showing here as a sample with little business card sized voting ballots. So that's actually just a business card thing that you put through the printer, and when you bend them up and you put the little business card in a little business card holder in front of the little bag for the voting. Or you could do fish bowls, or you could do any number of baskets, whatever. This is just an inexpensive way. Take a bag that's your color of your franchise and make it fit the theme that you're using. Put it out at each of the tables at your holiday party. Hear me on that. Because if you make this a part of your centerpiece at each of the tables of your holiday party, your agents then have to go visit other tables. So you're forcing them to interact with each other, which is very important for that camaraderie and that culture that you create. And they go and they're like children. It's like the yearbook staff is going around and asking them in high school when they're seniors, who's this? And this is why. Because best dressed is one of them. Most likely to succeed is another. Team player. Who do the agents in the office think is the best team player in that office? Who do they think is the friendliest? All of these different superlatives really, it's fun, actually. So then, the ballots are tallied, and they get a small little present for being, the best dressed. If you did best dressed female and best dressed male, then you could do like a high heel shoe, little ornament, or a tie for the gentleman that got best dressed. There's so many different ways. Most likely to succeed could get a journal, inexpensive. Go to Target, go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Team player, get your wherever you are. So I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so maybe the team player gets a Miami Dolphins jersey or t-shirt, in a large size, so that if it's a lady who gets it, maybe it's a nightshirt, or she could give it to her kids, or anything like that. And give them that acknowledgement. But another way that you can do it, if you don't have a holiday party and you don't want to do that, is you could compile these results over time. What do I mean by that? If your agents know that you're going to have these superlatives and you put out one each month, maybe you think of 12, and you put out one each month at the reception desk. So then the agents get to vote on who's the best dressed, who's the best dressed they think that, that month. Or do it quarterly. But everything that I'm talking to you about is to build that culture and that awareness that they're part of something that's bigger than just themselves. So these superlatives were always a fun thing for them to be able to do and participate in. And we've used it at a number of different events. We've used it at a time when maybe you're moving offices and you're having a grand opening party. So, or maybe you're changing your affiliation with what kind of real estate office you're going to be, and you're converting to something else, and you need something to do. These superlatives work wonders as a conversation piece and as a way for your agents to interact with each other. And sometimes you'd be surprised at who gets what award, because I've seen it done a number of times, and I have been surprised at times. So the next thing that I'm going to talk to you about is the actual either quarterly. I wouldn't suggest doing awards, like full-on award ceremony any more than quarterly, okay? So you can talk about who's doing best this month or that month, but an actual like sales meeting that is quarterly, I would suggest that you do, as I said, quarterly or at the end of the year for the entire year's production. Now, why do I have this Ebates and Walmart thing? Remember, I told you I try to do things that are inexpensive. So I want to share with you that if you don't already know about Ebates, that there is a I'm frugal, let's just say that. There is a website out there that you can join, and if you go to that website, every time you're getting ready to shop, now the season is upon us to shop, you can get a percentage of cash back, just like Discover Card does, but this is with whatever form of payment you decide to use. You simply have to click through to the stores that you want to purchase from. So, for example, I just ordered $3,500 worth of office stuff from Office Depot through Ebates. Well, Ebates next month will be depositing money into my PayPal account because I ordered through Office Depot, clicking through Ebates first. Okay, so what, Carrie? Well, I would have ordered from Office Depot anyway, so why wouldn't I take their $60 that they're willing to give me? So with that being said, I have a link for you, so if you want to go and register for Ebates and start your shopping, this is how it works. You would click through, and it says, okay, you're on your way to getting your 2% cash back. And then you go through to Walmart, and it's a regular shopping experience just like it would be at Walmart normally. But this is the reason I'm showing you this. I don't want you to order acrylic laser etched signs from a sign company for $100 or $200 per, because we're going to do top listing agent, top sales agent, top team, top this, and I'm going to show you what all those things are. I want you, for the quarterly awards, to buy a pack of 100 count certificate paper for $6.65, guys. $6.65, that's all I want you to spend for 100. So what does that come out to? Like 6 cents a piece? And then I want you to search, instead of just searching certificate paper, now I want you to search certificate frames. So if you're stay right there in Walmart in your shopping cart and order 10 frames for $3.59 a piece, you're in this thing, in these awards that mean so much to these agents, and they hang them on their walls in their home office, and they hang them on their walls, and if they have an office inside of your brokerage, and they let people know that they were this or that or any, whatever award they got. But you're into it for about $3.65, and it is worth way more than that in the appreciation that you're going to get from them by you acknowledging them. So with that being said, you're going to obviously tally all the results and put in who's the top producer and do all those things and gather this information. Who closed the most sales? Who had the most listings? Who had all of these different things that they deserve recognition for? And then you're going to print out these certificates on this paper. But I want you to look at this certificate that I have here. It's called the M.V.P. award. See, we decided that we needed to do things not just based on production. Who is the MVP? Who has, and anything, if you're doing in the MVP, who has had the biggest impact on your brokerage that quarter? We give something called the Hustle Award. Who do we know worked really, really hard? They may not see the results yet, but they may need that extra little affirmation or that extra little push to keep up the work so that they're, most real estate agents are like wheat blowing in the wind. They change directions based on a whim. Well, if you have somebody that you know is doing all the right things, but they may not be seeing the results yet, so they're not the top producer, they're not the top lister, they're not the top team, but they are doing everything right. They might deserve the Hustle Award that month. We offer the Team Captain Award. And when you offer these awards out, you sign them in blue ink, and you put them in the frames, and you make it a big deal. Don't make it something that's not impressive. I've seen award ceremonies where people get up and they say, top sales is blah, blah, blah. Somebody comes up, they get a certificate or an award. Even if you spent $300 on awards and you didn't do it properly, even if you do awards and you don't do it properly, don't do it. Because if you do it improperly, it doesn't have the same effect. Make a big deal about it. Put it in a frame. Invest the $4 that it takes in order for you to get it. And create a real slideshow. What do I mean by that? Here is a sample slideshow of what I'm talking about, complete with music. And the thing that I want to tell you that's so neat and you can do, hire your teenage daughter with a camera. Don't stand there, or son, sorry, I just happen to have a daughter. But hire them with a camera, a real, not old-fashioned with film, but a real camera. Get a picture of you shaking hands with that person. Have somebody else doing the oration of it so that you're giving the award and you're shaking their hand and they can have a picture to put on their social media. What does that do when they put that on their social media? Because now they're advertising your brokerage on social media and not just saying, hey, look what this broker does for me. This broker acknowledges their agents. This broker has a culture. This broker understands that we need to have this because they have friends that are other real estate agents. So it becomes a recruiting piece when that picture is taken. You don't even have to spend the money to develop film anymore, guys. You just have to remember or assign the receptionist or assign somebody that's a friend to come and take pictures to make it a big deal when these awards are going on. Have music that goes with it so that when the person's walking up, there's an energy in the room. So the Team Captain Award goes to da-da-da, and then that person comes up. And have it be a building process. The Exit Excellence Award goes to da-da-da. We had one that was called the Image Maker Award. It was the person who did the best marketing that we thought. Here is the Hustle Award. Now look at this. This guy actually looked like the Gladiator. We couldn't find a picture of him, so we used that. Well, guess what? He actually got a big kick out of it. Now, I'm sure that you guys have pictures of your agents, but sometimes even if you do have a picture and there's a joke, a long-standing joke in the office, or, somebody looks like blah, blah, or, the Gladiator, it breaks up the monotony of it a little bit. And there's a song, I might be dating myself here, but there's a song called The Hustle. So actually, for real, you buy it from iTunes, you insert it into your PowerPoint, and the dun 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 dun, I'm not going to sing for you, I promise, but the Hustle song should come on while that award is being given. And the laughter that comes from the crowd, especially from the people who are old enough to know what the song is, to break up that monotony, really brings an energy to the room. The top sales team. So who's the top sales team in your brokerage? And give these awards out with dignity and with excitement. The top listing agent. So, see how it's building? So here we go. We went from the Team Captain Award. Who is it that, really shows that they're like the coach of the office, if you will, and it's not the sales manager, because that person's getting paid to do that. But who is it that you see everybody going to? Everybody, and never says no to anybody. I want to pull them aside and say, hey, buddy, you'd probably do more business if you stopped helping everybody else. But that's another topic. Who never gets consumer complaints? Who always, does their contracts properly? Who do you see hustling the most? And it's building, you see? It's building. It's building to the top sales team. It's building to the top listing agent. Who's that top listing agent? Do you think this top listing agent may have gotten the Team Captain Award because since he had so many listings, he needed to refer his buyers out to those people? If you can cultivate a relationship with that top listing agent, instead of that top listing agent just ignoring the buyers that call, that don't buy his property, and get them to pass them out to other agents that may not be doing as well in your office, do you think you might be able to increase your profitability? So maybe that's why he got the Team Captain Award. And then, of course, the top sales agent. Who made the most money? Who had the most GCI? These awards are so important. The recognition is so important. And I know I get on here every Friday and I say, this is important. No, this is important. Well, this is important. Well, there's a reason that we chose the topics that we did. And it crescendos with the MVP. Who of this brokerage has all of those characteristics? They may not be the actual top sales agent, but they're pretty close up there. Maybe they're number 2, maybe they're number 3, but they also would have deserved the Team Captain Award, and they also could have, they were on your list for the Hustle Award too, but they were also on the list for the Excellence Award. So it's just the person who really has all of those characteristics, and they were on the list for most of these awards when you sat down and really thought about it. When you sit down and you do the numbers, you run the numbers, and you look at it all, you say, wow, this Steve guy, had like a lot of listings. He was like number 4 in listings, but he was like number 2 in gross close sales. But I always see him helping people, so maybe I should give him the Team Captain Award. But he really hustles and he really works that hard. Most valuable player. MVP stands for most valuable player. He really does, it could have gotten any of these awards. So that means that he or she deserves the MVP, and that's the most prestigious award in our estimation that can be given. And that's the last award because it crescendos on the MVP award. So like I said, I get on here every week and I say, orientation is important. Communicating with your agents is important. Making sure that you ask your agents how you're doing is important. Well, this recruiting obviously is important. But this speaks, I think that each one of the topics that we've spoken about refers to another topic. And the reason that is because it's all one big puzzle and we're just putting all these pieces together. And I want you to pick and choose. I want you to say, I love them all. And I'm going to tell you guys, we did them all. So this isn't, we didn't pick and choose these. Every single one of the things that we show you, we did. And we did them all in the same year. Because it doesn't cost that much money. And it really helps to increase productivity, retention a lot. Recruitment, because these agents who get to experience the Champions Lunch, or who won the perfect contract contest and got those sign writers or that subscription or those pay-per-click advertisements. These people are talking nicely about your brokerage. They really feel like they're a part. They really feel like they're a part of something that's larger than themselves. They really feel the culture and they want to tell people about it. So not only are they not going to leave, but they're also going to help you to bring people. So with that being said, this is Agent Awards and Recognition. I hope that you'll implement at least one of these and you'll increase your bottom line. Thank you and have a great day.